Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Hala. So, cities of the future, a very interesting topic, I would imagine. Now, when I say cities of the future, I think there's a picture that comes to most of our minds, maybe a picture that looks like this. So this is what resembles sometimes the cities of the future. If we think about a city in 250, I think this is how it looked like. However, how about a city like this? This is another example of a city that actually represents the future. So this is another example. This is what we call Dir'iyya. It's, I guess it's a new perspective, is it? So this is why I'm here today, to speak about Dir'iyya. Dir'iyya is a new project in Saudi Arabia, but it's not actually new. So Dir'iyya is an old city in Saudi Arabia that is adjacent to Riyadh, our capital. Dir'iyya is an old city. It used to be the birthplace of the kingdom. It is the birthplace of the kingdom. It used to be the capital of the first Saudi state that lasted for around 100 years. Now our job in Dir'iyya is to bring Dir'iyya back to today and to the future as well. So hi everyone. Again, my name is Talal. I'm one of 1,000 that actually trying to bring Dir'iyya from only an old city to something that lives for today and the future. It has an amazing vision. But what we realized in Dir'iyya when we actually had the vision, it's a vision that was put by His Majesty and His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince. There was one big issue, or one challenge, and two opportunities that we had in Dir'iyya, or we wanted to think about in Dir'iyya. One, I think throughout the last century, the dynamic of the relationship between people and cities, it was a dynamic relationship, but we can see that it was a one-sided relationship. The city speaks to the people, but I don't think the people speaks to the city. So this is a challenge that we realize in Dir'iyya, and I think multiple cities around the world actually have a realization of that challenge. Two principles also we thought about. One is the city should embody the lifestyle of the people, should embody the culture and the heritage. We saw examples all around the world where cities somehow is disconnected from the daily life of people. It's disconnected from their traditions, it's disconnected from their heritage. So this is a principle that we wanted to have in Dir'iyya. The second, sustainability. When we speak about sustainability, the tendency to forget about the past. The wisdom of the past, they knew how to deal with sustainability. They had the scarcity, and they knew how to deal with the sustainability. So this is something that we learned with Dir'iyya, and we said, if we want this to be sustainable, and knowing that this is an old city, so we need really to learn from the past, yet adopt new urban guiding principles. So learning from the past and the wisdom of the past was the principles that we adopted in Dir'iyya. And this is what actually at the end manifested the vision of Dir'iyya. So Dir'iyya is a mixed-use project. It's an economical project. It's a destination that actually mixes tradition with heritage and with tourism. So if I speak about the vision, I think we have maybe 5 different objectives of that vision. So the first thing, that this city should actually link the past with the future. So that's one of the principles. It's a city that should honor the traditions, should honor values, should honor heritage. Now, another thing, that the city should be a manifestation of Saudi culture. And it's a very important principle. Also, we wanted to balance between sustainability. Sometimes people say that sustainability cannot be merged with economical agenda or economical values, but this is something that we wanted to do in Dir'iyya. We wanted to celebrate humanity in every form and shape. So that's a principle. We celebrate rich experiences, and we wanted to build a collective memory of something that is very unique, which is our Dir'iyya project. Now, I'll try to get into specifics of the how. So how we are doing this right now? Dir'iyya is still under development. However, we have a number of experiences and assets that we're offering the people, and we welcome anyone to actually visit and come and see Dir'iyya for themselves. So if we speak about the urban plan at the beginning, so I said that the urban plan has been inspired completely by the past, but we are lucky that we have a witness from that time, which is a Tarif district. So Treif district is one of the districts that has been fully conserved. It's a UNESCO heritage site, and it's today open to the people, where they can see a glimpse of the Diriyah past. It can actually show you the culture and the traditions of the past. Actually, Treif was a great inspiration to everything that we're doing right now. So from an urban perspective, I'll give you just two examples. One example, that this is the biggest pedestrian project in the world. And in order to do that, we had a very complex civil engineering project. We had to put all the vehicles and all the transportation under the ground. So in order to offer people a pedestrian experience. So this is a 3.5 million square meter of walkability destination. So people can walk without the fear of accident, without the fear of having vehicles running around them. Very sustainable, very clean environment and air. Everything is happening under the ground. So this is a view of the Diriyah. You can see that even the connection with the nature. It's a very natural connection. You cannot see a single vehicle in Diriyah. Everything is under the ground. The second is, we saw with some future cities that the city they have a tendency to put zones. There's the education zone, there's the cultural zone, there is the residential zone. What we did in Diriyah is against that, and we can see that in all cities around the world, which is we mixed everything together. So when you go out of your house, you can see a museum on your right side and a school on your left side. So this is an example how the urban plan in Diriyah is actually a representation of what we want as principles and vision. If I go to the houses in the residential project, so we're planning to have 22,000 different units between studios, flats, villas, townhouses. But we understood one thing. Homes and houses are not just physical structures that you erect from the ground. It's an embodiment of our culture and traditions. And we saw that sometimes when we design our houses in different cities of the world, it disconnects from your heritage, it disconnects from your culture, it disconnects from the way of living. So what we did in Diriyah, that no, we brought the old designs with modern principles and modern guidelines, and we saw immediately the impact. We saw that it immediately impacts sustainability. And this is why our urban plan actually won a platinum award in sustainability, just by bringing the wisdom of the past. So we have multiple principles that we brought from the past. I'll just give you one example. If you can see the space here. So that space was there in the past because of sustainability, because of the culture and the tradition and the heritage. So we brought this back into our designs today. And you can see this is a real image or a render, but those are real designs. They're under construction right now. We will start handing over the first residential by the end of this year. So next year we'll have people living in Diriyah. We have a target of 100 people living in Diriyah, 100,000 people living in Diriyah. So this is when you speak about residential, it's a great place to live in. Comparing the current big cities where you don't have maybe the right quality of life principles. You cannot walk your kids to school. You always have the fear of accidents. You don't know if cities are really and genuinely caring about sustainability. They don't have access to culture, access to nature. And this is exactly the opposite of what we're doing today in Diriyah. Another example of what we're doing today in Diriyah is experiences. So it's not a city. It's a rich city that offers rich experience to people every day. An experience that speaks the story of our culture and heritage every day. The experiences will be in daily lives and the people's lives, and it's a community-driven experience. So we allow the community to participate in the experience. And we had assets that would actually speak about that. So what you see here is an image of Diriyah Opera House. So we have the only opera house in Riyadh. We have a huge modern contemporary art museum. And this is only example of multiple assets that we'll have in Diriyah. So this is a beautiful image of an outdoor opera of our opera house. It's under construction actually by now. It will take us 3 years to finish the construction, and people would actually can come and join the Diriyah Opera House. So not only the experiences that people would have on daily lives, we realized one important lesson, that we need to have a healthy connection between the people and the tourist. We saw examples of cities today where the connection is not that healthy between tourists and residents, because it puts a huge pressure on the infrastructure. So you see cities where they don't want tourists to come to their cities because it puts pressure on their infrastructure. But this is an opportunity in the area, because we're designing this from scratch. So we designed from the get-go that it will be a mutual benefit and a mutual relationship between tourists, between the residents, and between everyone who come to work in the area or study in the area. So when we did that, we knew that one element that we have to do is having hospitality offers. So we have a number of 40 hotels in the area offering more than 6,000 keys. So all the different brands in the area, but it mingles beautifully with the tradition and the architectural language of the area. So this is an example of one of the hotels. This is actually the Four Seasons. It's under construction right now. If you can see that it follows the same architectural standards, the same language, which is inspired by the past. This is the Najdi architecture, which used to be the architecture in the Najd region, the central region of Saudi Arabia. And you can see that it mingles beautifully with the rest of the site. It doesn't have boundaries. It's in the middle of the urban fabric of the city. And this is only one example of 40 hotels, but it has the same spirit, it has the same ambience of the other hotels. I will go to a different example right now, which is quality of life. I think a lot of people speaks about quality of life, but putting that into action is a very difficult agenda. So in the area, we wanted to really focus on what will bring quality of life to people. So I show you an example of walkability. Other examples is the community-driven market. So we have a huge bazaar that will be only operated by the community. So that's another example. Schools. So we're not offering just traditional schools. What we saw in different places of the world, that they might have great educational offering, but that educational offering, it's not connected. So we're trying to put a mesh of our educational offerings. There's an overarching strategy that connects all the school, not only from a setup point of view, also from an operational point of view. The schools will be open 24/7 to the community. Community can use the schools for all of their activities. It's not a school offering. It might be a school offering during the day, but it's a community offering during the day, the night. It's a community offering during the weekend. So this is also an example of what we mean by quality of life. It's a vision that we're trying every day to make sure that it will be implemented, that it will touch the people's hearts and souls. It's a great experience, not only for the people who would come to the area. I think that would be a lesson, and it's a great hub for a dialogue and conversation of the future urbanism. We think it's a great living example, and we welcome again everyone to visit the area. We currently have a number of experiences that can actually demonstrate what we are offering as the area. Again, thank you everyone. This is an open invitation, and thank you everyone for listening. And we hope to see you everyone in the area very soon.